Greetings, Scapers. This is Liger's Eye. Welcome back for part 2 of my intro to Mirrorscape. We're continuing our walkthrough of Mirrorscape's basic functions to help you quickly get up and building. This time around, we'll take a closer look at the grouping tools. We'll see what the DMs will be using them for things including fog of war, hiding objects from players, and navigating around some of the more complex maps. So with that, I say let's get going. We'll pull up our demo map here. And what we have in front of us here, we'll just do a quick recap. Last time I talked about some of the basics of the grouping tools. So for example, we can identify individual pieces and connect them together so that they function as a unit. We can also permanently lock them together and identify them. And one of the ways that we'll do this here from our menu, we'll hit the 3 dots again, and this 2 planes plus a little plus sign that creates our group. And Mirrorscape will just randomly identify it with a color, but now this acts as a single piece. Helpful when you're building and you want to lock something in place. You don't want to accidentally bump it and move a piece out. This way, it all stays as a unit. A little cleaner when you're building. But for today's purposes, what we're going to talk about is different ways that the DMs will be using these functions in their maps. So in this scenario, we've got our room. Our players have come in, and maybe they're going to pass through the door and enter the next room. Well, when you are in the map, by default, you pretty much see everything. Well, if this next room, if you prefer that it be hidden or just not in their view, the simplest way to do it, once it's grouped together, you can change some of its attributes. And in this case, we've got 2 quick ones available to us. Under visibility, there is labeled Fog of War and Hidden. And the difference is when it's Fog of War gray, you as the DM will still be able to see the group, but it will be grayed out. It'll be darkened, as opposed to Hidden, where it will be removed from your field of view as the DM. On the player's side, however, gray Fog of War is automatically removed from view. So the result is the players will essentially see only this part of the room when they're in it. Once they pass through the door, the DM will have the controls to switch it from hidden to visible for everyone that's around the map. So we'll kind of demonstrate that here. So we've got our group, and within the added functions of the group, we can identify these as revealed. See the little castle icon that's filled in, and then there's a castle icon that's hollow. The hollow one is hidden. So the DM can still see these tile pieces in this group, but the players do not. The players essentially see nothing there. Or easier way to show that, we'll switch from our gray Fog of War to Fog of War Hidden. So now the DM can see what the players see, and in this case, it's hidden from view. When the DM is ready to reveal, course, the DM can switch to gray. Players still do not see this, but then the DM can come in and reveal that group. And now the players can see it just as we see the map here. Another function here I skipped over for the grouping tool. There's some settings in the grouping tool. So I said earlier that it will kind of randomly assign it a color. If you've got multiple groups and you want to keep them a little more organized, you can specify your own color, and as well as a name. So we'll call this hidden room 1, because we're gonna have a few hidden rooms. Confirm that now, and so we see that it's changed its color. And if you want to make sure that you're referencing the right spaces, you can turn which is it here? Oh, right at the top. See here, it now states hidden room, so you can see which group you're actively selecting, or which ones you'll be moving to. And that is regardless if it is visible to the players or not. So you can keep track of where everything's at until you actually need to use it. So that's just a quick walkthrough of the visibility options. Let's do this here. We are going to bring in a slightly bigger map here. Give some real world examples. So this was actually a map that my DM built for one of our sessions. I forget if it was 2 sessions ago or when it was, but basic map. The party had already made their way in through this front entrance. Locked door here, locked doors up here. We figured out how to get through these doors through the first room, and this is where we started the next session. So we've got our party here in front, and then we've got some big bads, and then they're keeping kids hostage in here. So we battled it out, and we cleared the room, freed the hostages, and then went through the next door. So as you can see from here, the door kind of leads to nowhere. Well, on the DM side, we're going to switch here to gray. This is the rest of the complex that our DM built. Anything that's in that gray is invisible to the players, so we have no idea what's there. But when we stepped through that door, he was ready to reveal the next part of the map for us to see. So then we step through, come around the corner, and once we get to this point, if we continue in that direction, just as before, reveal the next part of the map. And in this case, we discovered a secret doorway that took us all the way back to the beginning. Fortunately, though, along the way we found some keys, and we were able to open up other parts of the map. In addition to grouping for the terrain, there are also a few other ways that you can use this. And I will return here to our first room here. Let me zoom in a little bit, and you'll notice we've got these guys here in the dark gray. They are in fact hidden. They're not actually grouped though. They're just hidden as individual objects. But what that means is, if you've got a trigger or if you've got something hidden that you don't want the player to see just yet, but it's there, it's ready to go, in this case you can just select the object or the monster in this case, and now he's active. So as we finish the first wave of finished off the first wave of monsters, then new ones would appear in the map. And then likely also for the final battle in this particular map. In this case, we eventually made it to the last room, and then got a whole new room full of monsters to battle, and a little surprise was waiting for us as well. Let's see, done here. So in this case, all of these pieces are grouped together. Now, in order to function properly, these really should have been, and we stumbled over this a little bit, they really should be ungrouped, or at least the individual pieces. But as we were battling through, we had a surprise waiting for us underneath the map. And one last baddie was revealed here at the end. So that gives you a pretty good idea of how you can handle the different groups, and especially if you are either in a kind of a dungeon crawl or a bit of a maze, and you don't want to reveal all at once. This method will let you kind of cascade as the players proceed through your dungeon to take you on to the next location. So let's take a closer look here again at hiding of the individual objects. So in this case, we've got some suits of armor. We're going to ungroup these here so we can select the individual pieces. And again, whether or not it's grouped, you can either toggle it visible or hidden. This is also really useful for if you have, say, chests hidden or secret passages hidden. For example, this was a secret door. That when we approached from this side, we were able to identify it, but no one did an investigation check on this side of the wall, so we didn't realize it was a hidden wall. But if you want a hidden wall that can also then be revealed, you can take just a regular piece. There are hidden wall pieces, but you can take just a regular piece and have it hidden, have another piece over it, and then reveal it as a opening. Okay, so that covers a lot of the grouping and some basic DM functions. I think the last thing we'll touch on, some of the more complex maps that we see here will have multiple levels on them, and as you can probably see, it's a little difficult seeing around everything. If we're not at this top level yet, but the DM wants to keep track of things, he's got to look through and navigate in and around this top floor until the party's made it up to that floor. However, there are a couple of tools we have. You'll notice I used this earlier, bringing this monster in and out. Got some vertical controls here. We can also select the upper clip plane tool and a lower clip plane tool. And what this allows you to do is to actually hide things either from top down or bottom up. And in this case, I'm dropping this ceiling down. Back away here so you can see it a little better. I'm dropping this down, and as we do so, we will hide anything that's above that particular line. So this isn't Fog of War, although it can function that way. This just gives a much cleaner line of sight for the DM to work within. And then, of course, the inverse to that is we'll reveal vertically again. If we're in a situation where we're working bottom up and you want to hide lower levels, you can grab the lower clip plane tool, and instead of it descending from the top, it will rise from the bottom. So similar as to before, now the bottom has been hidden from view and the top part still remains. So this is also useful for if you want to, say, keep something at the ready, but you don't want it directly on the map in front of you. Say, for example, you've got either another whole set of monsters, you want them available, but you don't want them in the way. You can also hide those objects as well. So just a quick example here. I'm going to grab these pieces here. So I've got a group in individual pieces, but I don't want it right now. I'm going to want this later. So I can either send it off to the side, off the table if we're using this environment, or with the clipping planes, you can raise this up above where that clipping plane is. And when you're ready for it, you can reveal it, select it, and then drop vertically again for when you need access to it. Okay. Well, again, that was a pretty quick walkthrough of some of those functions. So definitely go in and play around with those. Try a couple different combinations, see how it works. And of course, every map is going to be a little bit different. So try some few things, see what works best for you. So next time we'll take a look at some more of the building techniques. We'll also talk about building vertically, how we got these multi-level maps, and also take a peek into some of the Mirrorscape Labs features. These will kind of come and go as they do or don't really work well, but it's an opportunity for everyone to test out some of these new little features, and hopefully we'll continue to see more of these. So in the meantime, hope to see you next then, and get building. Later, Scapers.